Three of clubs, dead or alive. The very first game in Alice in Borderland is called Dead or Alive, and it's tied to the Three of Clubs card. Now, in the real world, a Three of Clubs is just the card you toss away in poker when you're praying for something better. But in Borderland, that card screams, "Hey, this is a teamwork game, but don't relax. Because teamwork just means you'll die together if you're dumb." The setup is wild. You're dumped into a building where every room has two doors, one marked live and one marked death. Naturally, you're thinking, cool, I'll just pick the one that doesn't say death. Wrong. Do that, and you'll get zapped by lasers faster than you can say, oops. The first poor soul to test this theory gets fried instantly, which, honestly, is a fantastic icebreaker for the group. Each new room gives you less and less time to choose, starting with 2 minutes and shrinking by 10 seconds every time, until you're basically sprinting while inhaling smoke, like you just paid a cover charge at the world's worst nightclub. So how do our heroes survive? Arisu, who looks like the guy you'd cheat off in math class, realizes the trick. He uses building maps and geometry, literally calculating room size versus building length to figure out which door won't turn everyone into toast. With seconds to spare, he guides the group out, though his friend Chota gets a nasty burn souvenir. They win the game, snag the Three of Clubs card, and get 3 extra days of life on their visa. Symbolically, the whole Three of Clubs card thing shows that in this twisted world, intelligence and teamwork are everything. Though teamwork might also mean letting the expendable stranger test a door first. Five of Spades, the game of tag. In a normal deck of cards, the Five of Spades is nothing to brag about. You'd probably toss it away and hope for an ace. But in Alice in Borderland, the Five of Spades is basically a death notice wrapped in cardboard. Spades mean physical games, the ones where you actually have to run for your life, and 5 means it's right in the middle. Not impossible, but definitely kiss your comfort zone goodbye. The game they play is tag, but not the fun kind from the playground. Instead of kids chasing each other, you've got gun-toting maniacs in horse masks patrolling an abandoned apartment complex. The building is 7 stories, shaped like an L, and stuffed with enough stairwells and blind corners to make a cat lose confidence. Somewhere inside is a safe room with 2 buttons that have to be pressed at the same time. If no one finds it within 20 minutes, the whole building explodes. And don't even think about sneaking out early, because Borderland lasers are faster than airport security. Arisu, Usagi, Karube, and Chishia jump into this madness with a bigger group. Hiding doesn't work because the taggers sweep everything like overenthusiastic gym teachers. Arisu uses his brain to track patrols and piece together a plan, while the others distract and survive. Finally, he and Usagi reach the safe room and smash the buttons with seconds left. The bomb stops, everyone breathes, and they earn the Five of Spades, which means 5 more days of life. Then comes the plot twist. The fallen tagger was just another unlucky dealer, and turns out that even the hunter was stuck in the same cruel game. 10 of Hearts, Witch Hunt. The 10 of Hearts game in Alice in Borderland is called Witch Hunt, and it's one of the wildest showdowns at the beach. In a regular deck, a 10 of Hearts might mean a lucky poker hand. Here, it means you're trapped in a deadly trust game where one wrong move can get you killed. Everyone is suddenly locked inside the beach resort, and right in the middle of it all lies a dead girl, Momoka, with a knife in her chest. The rules are simple. One of you is the witch, the killer, and to clear the game, you have to find them and throw their body into the fire of judgment. Easy, right? Not when there are over 100 panicked players, guns everywhere, and only 2 hours to figure it out. It quickly turns into the world's worst group project, with everyone accusing each other and chaos breaking out. Aguni, the beach's leader, completely loses it. Instead of keeping order, he starts shooting anyone he thinks looks suspicious, turning the resort into a blood-soaked nightmare. Meanwhile, Arisu, who's way too smart for his own good, gets tied up because people think he's gaming the system to collect cards. But Arisu keeps thinking. Heart games are all about psychology, not violence. What if the witch isn't alive? That's when it clicks. Momoka stabbed herself before the game even began. The witch was already dead, and the rules never said the witch had to be alive, only that her body needed to be burned. In the end, After Usagi helps Arisu escape, he convinces everyone to burn Momoka's body. The game clears, the beach goes up in flames, and the final numbered card is revealed. And here's the twist. Momoka wasn't just another player. She was a dealer, one of the hidden staff who set up the games and even sacrificed themselves to keep them running. Right at this point, they realize a chilling truth that the games aren't random at all, and they're being controlled from the inside. King of Spades, The Hunt. The King of Spades game, also called The Hunt, is the most exhausting survival round in Alice in Borderland. It starts in Season 2 and just keeps going, hanging over everyone like the world's worst pop quiz that never ends. Since spades mean physical battles, this one is all about running, dodging, and somehow not getting mowed down by a walking war machine. The rules are cruel in their simplicity. You get no weapons at the start, you can only grab what you find, and the only way to win is either outliving the king or actually taking him down. The King of Spades himself is like every final boss from a shooter game squeezed into one guy. He stalks all over Tokyo, armed with an assault rifle, grenades, and that terrifying infinite ammo vibe, never slowing down or running out of tricks. And to make it extra cruel, this game doesn't pause. It runs in the background while other games are happening, so you could be minding your business somewhere else and still end up in his sights. He's not just a faceless killing machine either. He used to be a soldier or mercenary, which explains why he treats a citywide gunfight like light exercise. Beating him takes brains, not biceps. To take him down, Arisu and Aguni finally set up a trap. They drench an area in kerosene and blow him sky high. It's chaotic, smoky, and strangely satisfying, kind of like finally uninstalling that one app that refuses to stop draining your battery. The game clears with his death, but honestly, anyone who just survives a chase from the King of Spades deserves a medal. Jack of Hearts, the Prisoner's Game. The Heart card is back again with its trust games, and this time it's the Jack of Hearts, also called the Prisoner's Game. The setup is simple, but cruel. Everyone gets locked inside a prison with an explosive collar around their neck. On the back of the collar is a card suit, but you can't see your own, only other people's. Every hour you get time to talk, ask, beg, or lie to figure it out, and then when the bell rings, you go to your cell and say your suit out loud. If you're wrong, the collar explodes. If you try to cheat with a mirror, well, let's just say you won't be needing one again. The game keeps going until the hidden Jack of Hearts dies, which means endless rounds of bluffing and backstabbing. The card itself fits perfectly. The Jack of Hearts is about trickery, and here the Jack is hiding among the group, blending in and letting everyone else panic. It's not a test of running or fighting, it's a test of who you trust, which honestly makes it worse. And this is where Chishia shows why he's everyone's favorite brainiac. While most people are running around like it's the world's worst trust fall exercise, Chishia stays calm, studies the small details, and slowly builds a reputation by giving people the right answers about their suits. It's like he's playing Sudoku, while everyone else is doodling on the margins. In the end, Jack is revealed as Matsushita, who crumbles under pressure and says the wrong suit on purpose, blowing himself up and clearing the game. Chishia walks out cool as always, surviving exploding collars, and non-stop lies just by thinking, while most of us can't even survive a game of Uno without flipping the table. King of Diamonds, Beauty Contest. The King of Diamonds game is called Beauty Contest, and it's one of the toughest brain battles in Alice in Borderland. Diamonds always stand for logic and strategy, so instead of running for your life, here, you're basically running math equations in your head. The setup is inside a courtroom, where 5 players, including the king himself, sit in front of tablets. Each round, everyone picks a number between 0 and 100. Then the average of those numbers is taken, multiplied by 0.8, and whoever guessed closest to that new result wins the round. Everyone else loses a point. If your score ever drops to -10, a tank of acid tips right over you. So basically, it's the most painful chemistry lesson you'll ever have. The King of Diamonds is Kuzuryu, a man who believes in fairness and equality. That's why his game is designed like this. It forces people to predict how others will think, balance risk, and still try to keep things fair. But of course, when fairness means acid over your head, it doesn't feel very noble. This is where Chishiya proves he's more than just a pretty face. While others panic and second guess, he keeps his cool, mixes up his choices so nobody can predict him, and slowly lets the others knock themselves out of the game. He's like that one student who doesn't study all night but still shows up and aces the exam. In the end, Kazuryu is the one who falls to -10 and gets eliminated, while Chishiya walks out the winner. Honestly, watching him survive this game with nothing but sharp thinking is proof that in Borderland, the deadliest weapon is a calm brain, though a calculator wouldn't hurt either. Queen of Spades, Checkmate. The Queen of Spades game, Checkmate, is basically a giant high-stakes game of tag. Two teams face off, the Queen's red team and the challenger blue team. Risa, the Queen of Spades, is the boss here. She picks a king for each side. On the blue team, it's a boy named Koda, and he can't ever switch teams. The game lasts 16 rounds. Each round, one team becomes the hunter and tries to hit the button on the other team's vests. If you get tagged, you're shocked, frozen for that round, and next time you play, you switch to the other side, unless you're a king. When the 16 rounds are over, whichever team has more players wins. Win and you clear the game. Lose and, well, you're done. Spades games are all about strength and speed, and Risa owns it. She plays like a total storm, chasing people down, tagging them, kicking, dragging them onto her team, and even sweet-talking players to join her. At one point, she corners Arisu and tries to force him over, but Usagi swoops in and helps him escape. But while Risa is busy dominating, Usagi starts firing up the blue team with hopeful speeches about going home. Slowly, players stop following Risa and switch back to the challengers. By the final round, almost everyone is blue. The challengers charge, tag everyone, and Risa is left standing completely alone. Instead of begging for mercy, Risa smiles, congratulates Usagi, and says she'd rather stay free in Borderland. Then she jumps over a high fence. For a split second, it looks like she might survive, until a Borderland laser blasts her mid-air. Queen of Hearts, Croquet. The Queen of Hearts game, Croquet, is the final showdown in Alice in Borderland, where hearts again show up one last time to play with the lies and betrayals. The Queen of Hearts is Mira Kano, who welcomes Arisu to a beautiful rose garden and challenges him to 3 rounds of croquet. But the twist is that you don't even have to win. You just have to finish all 3 rounds without quitting. On screen, it feels like a fancy garden party at the end of everything. But in Borderland, easy always means trouble. The real danger isn't the game itself, it's Mira. After 2 peaceful rounds, she serves tea and starts playing with Arisu's mind. She spins wild theories. Maybe Borderland is a virtual reality? Maybe none of this is real. Maybe everything, including his dead friends Karube and Chota, is just in his head. She pokes at his guilt and grief, trying to break him until he gives up, and it really was about to work. Arisu starts to slip, but Usagi steps in. To snap him back to reality, she hurts herself, proving she's real and grounding him in the moment. That gives Arisu the strength to keep going. Mira actually wins the final round of croquet, but it doesn't matter because Arisu never quits, which means he wins the game. A laser takes Mira out in classic Borderland fashion, and the games finally end. The remaining players are given a choice: stay in Borderland forever or return to the real world. Most, including Arisu and Usagi, choose to go home. If Mira's cruel mind games left you on edge, just wait. The real terror is yet to come in fiction's most disturbing horror endings, explained in 10 minutes. I'll see you there.